and ears! Orders received! Sky Scout, moving out!
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Art of Save Scumming. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about the High Elves. I've got some early access to the Tides of Torment, and I've finally been cleared to talk to you about the campaign aspects of the High Elves. So I'm going to actually be breaking this into two separate videos. The first is going to be all the High Elves, their new economy mechanics and all that sort of stuff. And then a separate video specifically focusing on Tyrion and Teclis's changes because they have their own unique mechanics. And I feel like that's enough material to do a dedicated video on what they specifically have going on. So today we're going to be talking about the High Elf economy, their resources, and this, for the most part, applies to all of the High Elves, and specifically their changes really have to do with their confederation mechanics. So if we look here, we have the patrons of the realms. You guys have seen some screenshots of this. This is going to be a look inside the build that I currently have access to. So if we go into, well, actually, before we actually click on this button, we have really for the High Elves 3 resources. We have gold, which we've always had. We've always had the influence, and then we have this, favor of the Phoenix King. And these are points that you get just doing things in the campaign. The more positive things that you do, the more you get. The more negative things that you do, you lose. So in order to get Phoenix, favor of the Phoenix King, you fight battles against enemies, you clear territory, you do positive actions diplomatically with other High Elves. To lose it, you make deals with chaos, you sack or raise elven settlements, things like that. Those fluctuate this bar up and down. You may want to do that. What regions are not held by elves? So like this region here, and these regions here are not held by High Elves. Everything else is held by High Elves. And each of these, I don't want to call them provinces because that's not really accurate. Because, well, I suppose you could say they are province related. But like, for instance, this is not a province. These areas of Ulthuan are held by patronage seats. And there are 3 levels of patronage in each region. So if I wanted to put a lord in the patronage position of Nagaroth up here, I would click on this, and then I would click on the lord that I want to put there, and then I would take the patronage, which this will cost me 30 because nobody's currently in it. If I wanted to take this one, it would cost me 40, and I can't do it this, or actually, yes, I can. I can do it this turn. So I can steal a seat. When that lord is in that position, they will gain these benefits. And you can see that those go up for different levels. So each level, this one will cost me whatever the base cost is. This one's going to be 100, and this one's going to be 150 influence. And as we go up in the influence, you can see the benefits get stronger. I currently have a full patronage over the province of Avalorn, and I am now immune to this seat being taken from me. So I can't have threats, is what they're called, to my patronage seats now that I've fully filled up this bar for Avalorn. When it comes to confederations, there are conditions for confederation. So for instance, right now it's turn 10. I have exceeded the requirements for a confederation of Avalorn, which is a really fast confederation. I also did one with Teclis where I confederated Etain, and it took several more turns than that, but this is really fast confederation. Now, as far as regular confederations are concerned, we still have the ability to diplomatically confederate, but it's only the minor factions.
Yes! To war!
getting the influence to engage with this system, I would say that it seems to me that influence gathering has been buffed substantially. I don't remember completing battles and getting 30 and 40 influence for winning battles prior to this patch. Now, it has been a little bit since I really dug into the High Elves, but there are some other things in here that I think I forgot to mention when I was going through this. So you can see that this one's these numbers. There's a 3 right there, and that corresponds with this right here. So I'm at tier 3 of the patronage, which means that I'm immune. I'm at tier 1 of the patronage here. This is the immunity. So for 2 turns, if I wanted to put this person here, I can't do that. I have to wait 2 turns for that to happen. Now, I don't have an example of this currently, but there is also what I can tell to be a few turns of warning on when your patronage is going to be taken by a fellow lord. So if I held this position, there'll be a little yellow number that appears that basically says, hey, you got this many turns until somebody takes this off of you. And it'll tell you specifically who's going to do it. Again, I don't have an example of that right now, but that is another mechanic that's built in there. Now, as far as the patronage, the favor of the Phoenix King, as you can see, you start out with 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have you can't just build up a bunch and then get there if you've been a bad boy. So if you've been doing a lot of negative stuff, you can't just take over Ulthuan full like Bloodline of an Aryan type stuff where everybody hates you. You can't do it that way. And also, one of the things that, for instance, in this Tyrion campaign that I thought was really interesting as far as that dynamic is concerned is usually with my Tyrion campaigns, what I have done in the past, I've consolidated Attain, the 4 settlement province here. And then I have basically gone right into wrecking Safari for the territory. You can't really do that because it's going to tank your favor with the Phoenix King if you are declaring war and fighting against other High Elves. Now, if they declare war on you, you don't have a choice, but if you're the instigator of the war, then you're going to have problems. Other changes that I've noticed as far as the High Elves are concerned, just as far as like an FLC standpoint is concerned, is it looks to me like there are some additions to the landmarks. Now, I obviously have not dug through those yet. I'm sure that Sotek will probably do his customary like landmarks video. I'll be looking forward to that one. We can figure out what all the landmarks are. But for instance, right here at Lothern, we have the Court of the Phoenix King, which gives you a bunch of influence.
I summon the winds!
And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the research tree for the High Elves. It has changed. We have a bifurcated tree. And for the most part, I'll describe it like this. This side is very military focused. This side is very back end focused. So all the stuff that's going on in the background of your campaign, all the stuff that you're doing on the battle map and stat changes, buffs, and all that sort of stuff. This side is very linear in that you research that one, it gives you access to these two. You research that one, it gives you access to that one, on down the line. Makes sense. There are a few building lockouts that you can see here for specific things, like you have to build a Shrine of Assyrian before you can start doing stuff for your Phoenix Guard and your dragons and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I think we've seen this sort of stuff in the High Elf tech tree before. This side is very much buy it. This one is, for the most part, pretty much unlocked from the get-go. You just have to get enough economic power to be able to afford these. It looks to me, as far as I can tell, I haven't obviously gotten this far. All of these are one-turn researches. And then up here, everything is locked out behind a building. I think that that kind of makes sense. Very intuitive. You guys can go through the tech tree on your own, see what's in there, what isn't in there. I'm not going to spend any more time on this video doing that. If you want to see a specific video for what is in the tech tree, then I suppose I will do that one. Sound off in the comment section down below. Thanks for tuning into the Art of Save Scumming.